Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Bob here, and today I'm going to start a new series of Lord of the Rings online videos. I recently read through the book again for about the 100th time. I tried to sort of, ever since I started reading it, I first read it when I was about sort of 9 or 10, sort of 30 odd years ago. The first time I read it for a few years, it was the only book I read. You know, I would I'd read it, get to the end, and start right back at the beginning again. You know, it had that sort of effect on me. And every year since then I do try to read it once or twice, and it still has the same kind of magic. But I just finished reading it again recently, and it got me to thinking that I've sort of always wondered how accurate things are in the game in comparison to the books. Not the films, I'm not going to talk about the films at all, just comparing the game and the book. So what I thought I would do is I thought I'd walk in the Fellowship's shoes to see how accurate things are. First of all, I'd like to say, you know, just one disclaimer, and that's to say, obviously, I understand that Turbine have designed the game as a game, and I'm not expecting it to be sort of, you know, verbatim from the book, the journey. I imagine we'll come across lots of things that are mentioned in the book that are just not in the game, but I understand that, you know, that's down to restrictions and gaming requirements, practicalities, that kind of thing. So anytime I get to something and I say it's not there, I'm not really criticising, because I understand that, you know, designing a game around a landmass the size of Middle Earth, you know, is not easy. But as you can see, we start here at Bag End. It was evening when they started the journey, and it is evening now. So that's a bit of luck. I mean, that wasn't planned. That's just pure luck. And the first part of the journey, the book states that they travel. They come out of Bag End, and they travel west. And they go down the west side of the hill. Now the book does say that they come to a gate when they get to the sort of bottom of the west side, but that's not here. I've already had a quick check, and what happens is you get to the sort of the bottom of the hill going west from Bag End, and essentially you end up sort of at Rushhook Bog, and obviously that's one of those things where just from size of world type thing, you know, they've had to condense the map in. So there is no gate, and it does so when you get to the gate, you go through the gate and there's a lane that heads westward. Now if we keep walking westward, obviously we will end up in Rushhook Bog over that way, which is not where they went. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up and can we jump the wall here? What it does say is that they travel, they go down the hill to the west, go through the lane, and they follow the lane westwards for a while, and then they turn south. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn south a bit earlier and just try to fit in, trying to make it as accurate as possible. I guess that could have been the gate. I mean, there's no gate here, but yeah, we're going to go south through the apple orchards. And the book says they turn south and travel through some fields, which is kind of what we're doing roughly. And then they come to the river. Now in the book it says there's a there's a little crossing there, but in the book it says there's a wooden planked bridge that they cross just to the west of Hobbiton. They didn't go over the Hobbiton bridge or through Hobbiton. Obviously they didn't want people to see them, I would guess. Didn't want any nosy hobbits following them or seeing what they were doing. Hobbiton's up that way, and the Hobbiton bridge just around the corner there. But there's no wooden plank bridge that they crossed from the book. So that's a shame. I mean, there's certain sort of things from a gamey reason I can understand. You've got to cut corners, but it would have been quite nice if the plank bridge had been there. A bit of a shame that it's not. But anyway, we're going to cross the river and we're going to swim. Hobbits wouldn't have swam, of course. Generally don't like water. And there's Hobbiton and the Hobbiton bridge. So we'll cross here. We'll say that it does say that the plank bridge is sort of just west of Hobbiton, which is where we are. So we'll say that that's about where they crossed. And they continue on south. The description in the book says I think they travel a few miles through some fields and whatnot, which we'll do. And they eventually come to the road. So this is all pretty good so far. I mean, it would have been nice to see the bridge there, but sadly it's not. I've actually done some research on maps of the Shire, and I think I've got a map that Tolkien himself drew. Now here's the fields that they're talking about. So that's pretty accurate. Yeah, we're going through some fields. and we'll be coming up to the road quite soon, I would say. Let's just have a quick look. Yeah. Over the wall. Can you imagine Sam huffing over the wall there? While the others went round, maybe. I don't know. Here's the road. Now, the description in the book says they quickly crossed the road. I'm assuming they didn't want anyone to see them. It's probably quite a busy road, but it is night time, so there's not much going on. And then the description in the book states that they turn southeast. Now they do go through Tuckborough, which is where we're just about to go. They go through Tuckland, and they start heading southeast, and eventually they end up coming to the Green Hill country. It doesn't say that they actually go through Tuckland. So they probably go. It doesn't say anything about them using a road. So what they probably do is go around. So let's see if we can go around and then come around to as you can see on the map there. There's Green Hill country. So they travel through Tuckland, but it certainly doesn't mention them going on the main road or anywhere sort of near the Great Smiles or anything. So we will assume that they go around, which is what we'll do. I don't think they'll probably come across any angry tuskers or anything like that. Might have spotted a deer, I guess, there. I think there's a description. I think at some point they stop for the night to rest, and I think a fox comes along and sees them, and obviously he thinks it's quite odd that there are 3 hobbits sleeping outside, but there you go. So we've come behind Tuckborough there, and we're now heading towards Green Hill country. And I think at some point here there is a point where they stop and rest. I think they eat as well before they carry on again, because I think the plan was to put some apparently hobbits like walking in the evening. This is Frodo, Sam and Pippin, by the way, doing this journey. Hobbits like walking at night, so they were going to put some miles behind them before they went to sleep. And now hopefully we should get a little message that come up in a minute to say that we're entering Green Hill country. Now there is a point in the book when they enter Green Hill country where Frodo they climb to the top of a hill. Frodo stops and turns around, and he says something along the lines of, I wonder if I'll ever look down into that valley again. And what they're looking at is, see, we're still in Tuckland at the moment. There's a road there, and I think that's the road. Yeah, so we need to go over this way a bit. Now these big hills here, we can't get up. We can't get at the top of those, but there is a section. We're still in Tuckland, so we'll carry on going. But there is, as I said, sorry, getting waylaid there. But there is a description in the book that says they climb up the hills when they first enter the Green Hill country, and Frodo looks back and he can see they can all see the lights of Hobbiton. And then Frodo says something along the lines of, will I ever look down into that valley again? Which of course he will, but he didn't know that at the time. There's a brigand up there. They didn't come across any brigands, so we'll carry on going this way. Now they are now entering Green Hill country. As I said, I don't think that there's a big hill there. You see, there's a big hill there. That's Tom Cotton's farm. Now I reckon from that hill there. Let's go and have a look, because we're not going to be able to see Hobbiton from back there. We can't get right up there. It's impossible to get up there, I think, and we're not going to see Hobbiton from there. So what we want to try and do is try and find a likely spot where they stopped and looked down to see Hobbiton, because it says they see the lights of the inn and the hobbit holes down in Hobbiton. And I think probably this is not the hill they may have been looking down from, although we are still in Green Hill country, looking at the little description, looking at the location there, so that's okay. So I think so. Where's Hobbiton? That's Bywater. It's Frogmorton. Hobbiton is there. So let's get up the top of this hill. And can we see Hobbiton? Yeah, we kind of can, can't we? It's just over there. I think my draw distance and stuff is at maximum, but obviously there's things missing. But down there, I reckon this is probably where Frodo, Sam and Pippin looked down and saw Hobbiton, and that's where Frodo made his comment. But we'll carry on. As I said, we are in Greenhill country. Now there is a part of the book, a couple of things coming up. There's a part of the book where they say they're looking across. They carry on travelling east, I think, because they do. There is a point where they stop above Woodhall, and I think the description in the book says they look across Woodhall to the Brandywine River. Now we're just coming up to Woodhall. I think we'll probably pass the elf camp, won't we? There's an elf camp up here somewhere. Oh, that's not it. That's Wellbridge. Okay. Well, we've still got a bit of a journey to go to get to Woodhall. Now there is there is a description in the book that says they come down a hill and they cross a river that's dissecting the road. They don't go over the bridge, but they do cross a river. So I would say that this is that bit. So they come down here, cross a river. Now after this section, I think this is where they camp. I think this is the fox bit. I think what they find over here is like a sort of a forest of fir trees, and I think they end up making a fire and camping in the fir trees. There's a light over there. I don't think that's it though. Yeah, I think they're in some fir trees, because I think they talk about being able to look down and see the road, and I think they're just to the north of, just to the south of Woodhall as well. So at some point along here, the hobbits do make a camp, and I think that's where the fox comes along. Basically says, it's the bit where the fox stops and sort of sees three hobbits sleeping outside, finds it unusual, but just carries on, and I think the hobbits sleep in the roots of some of the big fir trees. So, but then you've got a description in the book that says, let's head down this way. Oh, there's a dwarf running across there. They obviously didn't see a dwarf. That's not how it works. Sorry about that. But then there is a section that says that they're above, looking across Woodhall, which is what we're doing, and they're looking across to the Brandywine River. Now we can't see the Brandywine River from here because there's a lot of trees in the way. So I'm going to assume that wherever they were standing was a bit higher. Let's have a look here. Can we see the Brandywine? Nope, not really. Nope, we can't see that far. But we are above Woodhall, and we are looking towards the Brandywine. So that's not bad, it's pretty accurate. We can't see it, but we know it's there. It doesn't mention them going through Woodhall, but what it does suggest is I think they see the road, and they do travel on the road a bit, because it says the road from Woodhall to Stock. It mentions that, and it mentions they don't see anyone on the road because you don't get much traffic. So there's a human running along, Longshanks. There we go. Well, they wouldn't have seen him either, but what can I do? I can't edit them out. Yeah, so it does say that they follow the road. And it's pretty quiet. I don't see anyone. Now we're now coming to the point where the Black Rider comes along, and what the book says is that they go into a little sort of clefty dell bit to hide to the left of the road, but Sam and Pippin go further into it, but Frodo stays quite near the road so he can see who's coming along. But it doesn't. This is the Yale Height. I don't think it mentions that in the book, but I haven't been able to find this spot where the hobbits probably rest. I'm not sure where it is, but this is the point where they do go off the road to the left, and they sort of hide in a bank. but they can see the road, and obviously they see the Black Rider coming along, obviously. And I think we'll probably stop our journey there. I've got no bank to hide in to the left of the road, so that's not there either, which is a shame. So far there are quite a lot of small little details that in the grand scheme of things don't really mean much, but it would have been nice if they were there. Just have a little hideaway bit to the left of the road here. Maybe we could have looked in and there may have been some sign that hobbits had been there. But anyway guys, that's the first part of our following in the Fellowship's footsteps. Hope you've enjoyed it and it's been interesting, and I'll see you again soon.